EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States, Oakmont Country Club outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees have been removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say we putt on these greens every single day, and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf. Oh, I liked that.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
The second shot now to the par 4. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. And setting up here in the rough. This is for his birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Still even par for the day. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Even par early on. Settles in always with excellent posture over the ball.
Nice.
Looks good.
That's an absolute beauty.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, at this, the highest level, stroke play, really it seems to me to be all about not wasting shots because the margin for error is so razor thin. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Setting up for an approach shot here. So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Not quite enough on that one, couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just 2 putts. Really. This is an awkward length.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
To 1 over par early on in this round. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So just a formality here. So with that, 1 over par. Third hole's a par 4. Again, it's 428 yards, but frankly, look out to the left and we can see There's nothing quite like the third at Oakmont.
Well, the church pews certainly might look beautiful from our point of view, but they really shrink the hole down, or the landing area, because not only the pews on the left side, but the bunch of bunkers on the right. You can see the tee shot plays a little downhill, but it funnels in so closely together that more often than not we'll see players hit long irons off the tee here.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways, this golf course always requires the utmost precision.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. .315. Frank, what do you see here on this approach shot at number one?
There's a little bit of doubt because of the semi-blindness down the hill. If you can just pick up on the top of the flagstick, what really has to be taken into consideration is that little run-in area towards the front of the green. It goes down towards the green, and just before it gets there, it goes up again. So that means if you play your second shot a little too far short, chances are it will not make the green. Once you get on the first 5 or 6 yards of this green, then it all tends to slope towards the back of the green. It's a tough second shot to get right.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that. And keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Either misjudged the wind or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Frank, every golfer wants to play it at least once, the old course at St. Andrews.
Yeah, from Bobby Jones to Jack Nicklaus to Tiger Woods, they've all come and conquered.
Frank, this is one of the coolest opening tee shots in all of golf, isn't it?
It is. The whole golf course sits in front of you. Out of bounds on the right, and believe it or not, there's out of bounds on the left. That's the right side of the 18th hole. You'd think it's the widest fairway in the world, but many a player has stood on that first tee and whipped one out of bounds.
And you're teeing off with people watching from the street. Sometimes they're actually looking out of their hotel rooms and peering in.
Yeah, or simply walking across the fairway.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards.
What a great shot.
Frank, on the second shot here at this first hole, a player will get a good sense of the winds here and how they can play a role at the old course.
And they'll also get a good sense of exactly how punishing this golf course can be, and with such the smallest things. For example, that burn is only about 3 or 4 yards across, and yet it is punishing to say the least.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Frank, many golfers unaccustomed to the full effects of the wind and playing without a caddy watch with great intent as their well-struck approach shot ends up, 1, not only short of the hole, but 2, short of the green, and 3, short of the burn by some 10 yards.
Yeah, you only need a puff of breeze, really, because it comes over the mound that's behind that first green. And for some reason, that second shot always seems to play that sort of 3 or 4 yards longer, even for the best players in the game.
Settles in over the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Shouldn't be a problem here. In red figures at 1 under par. For the par. And so just getting started, even par so far. Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
In the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but the left is always the safe side of the golf course, because the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This could be a good one. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Just a bit offline here, Frank, but not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the wind or just the lie there. Should be okay.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, I thought he made that. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This is an 11-foot putt. -2 early in the round. Could use this. A putt for par. Still even par for the day. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
You can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just 5 feet left. Even par early on. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there. And, yeah, good thing, too. He's actually putting well.
Frank now at the 4th hole.
Yeah, long par 4. Two choices, whether he's game enough to drive it down the right or down the left, which is a much wider piece of fairway.
Part of the experience of playing the old course at St. Andrews is not only the history, but also the caddies. Witty, wisecracking caddies. Guy once hit a ball hard left into a gorse bush, and he turned to his caddy and he said, "Is that okay?" And the caddy, little Jimmy, said, "Does it look okay? Hit another one?" He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You know, you can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, and of recent, been stroke play.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Second shot, good look at the green.
Safely on deck.
That will be a great look at birdie. Second shot now from 160 yards. stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par.
Even par currently.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. On the way. Go ahead and do that. What a putt. Getting set now over the putt. looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. How about that? 4 under par. Moving on to the par 4 6th hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12th. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot. 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those, and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front. Nice.
Looks good. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Right at about 125 yards to where the hole is cut. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Settles in over the putt. -3 now for the round. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Over the ball here at the 7th. And Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3. And so you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 11th.
Frank, it's a nice walk to make down the fairway when you can see your golf ball right there in the middle.
Rich, there's an old saying, fairway first. And there's another example. Hit it in the fairway, and the game becomes very straightforward.
Just a beautiful tee shot.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. This has really been impressive. High level of golf today, putting on a clinic out there.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Shouldn't be a problem here. So makes the putt, and now at -6 for birdie. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Standing on the tee at the par 3 8th here at the Old Course. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
One of the biggest greens on the golf course. It looks flat, it looks like it's easy, but once that flag gets on the left side, this is when the hole becomes a little bit more difficult. It's very easy to take this hole for granted. Very hard to hit it close, though.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
And it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good solid work right there, and stays at 4 under. Always so important to finish your first 9 holes on a positive note here at the Open Championship.
Yeah, the 9th hole, this is the most extreme part, furthest away from the clubhouse, in the middle of the loop here. A good drive, though, that avoids those bunkers has every chance of finding this par 4 with your tee shot.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th. Strong wind here early in the round. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. And getting ready for the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. Now 8 under on the day. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10.
That's an absolute beauty.
Chance to get it close here. That is another laser right at the flagstick. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a couple of feet. In for par, and will sit tight at 4 under. Frank, another famous hole, this time the par 311.
Yeah, this hole was made famous by the left bunker, which is called the Hill, where Bobby Jones, when he first played St Andrews, couldn't get the ball out of the bunker, so in the end he actually ripped up his scorecard. A lot's changed since then, but the hole hasn't lost its luster.
Frank, this one is veering far to the left. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
I like the looks of this one. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. You feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Frank, the charm of St. Andrews, the history of the old course, it all sort of comes into view here at the 12th, doesn't it?
Yeah, very pretty hole. Eden Estuary to the right. Obviously a nice view of the township of St. Andrews in the distance. But long hitters can just lick their chops and have a crack at this green. All they've got to do is worry about that little pop bunker short. But either into the breeze, or if you're not a long hitter, you've got to worry about those 4 bunkers that are well placed smack bang in the middle of this fairway.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Just a beautiful approach shot. The green here at the 12th is really the key. The shallow rear shelf falling away on all sides remains as fresh a challenge today as it did when Alan Robertson played it 125 years ago.
And of course, he was a professional that lived in the area, Rich, and one of the things that he did, he actually made some of these greens bigger. You would think that makes it easier, but when you put in some of these subtle slopes like what we see at 12, you realize it's not easier.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
This is a 9-footer. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling him right now.
Wow, I thought he made that. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. These putts keep the round together. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Hoping to drop only one shot, this for bogey. -3 now for the round. Frank, how about the bunkers here at 13? A rather ominous sounding name.
Yeah, the coffins, and they are that for a reason. If you finish up in there, well, the best you'll probably ever do is make a bogey, unless you're an absolute genius. They're to be avoided, certainly off the tee. If you do, it's still a difficult hole. The second shot, unless you hit a perfect tee shot, will be blind.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
This is the second shot at the par 4. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Bang! Has it. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count. And that is 9 under for the day. Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pot bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Now the second shot to the par 5.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, this actually isn't the most difficult shot, is it, for a high-level player?
You got a clean lie, it's firm underneath. The biggest thing, though, really, you don't want to hit the path first. Clean strike, though. This is almost like hitting off the fairway.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Third shot, looking for a good one. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Looks like he just misread that. So a tester from 4 feet. Good solid work right there, and stays at 4 under. And getting ready for the putt. Now -10 for the round. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4 15th. Very good par 4.
We are dead on 200 yards away. Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other. Oh, this looks like it's going to find the target. Really. This is an awkward length.
This can be a cruel game at times. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a couple of feet. With that, moves to 5 under par. Headed for home now, partner. The 16th hole, and what are we looking at here?
Well, you have to avoid the principal's nose. Otherwise, you're going to finish up in the principal's office. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Getting set now over the putt. Well, the great hits just keep coming. Moves to minus 11 on the day. This is for his birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. The famous 17th at the Open Championship, Frank. You begin to see the scoreboards, the grandstands, and you know all eyes are on you for the next couple of holes.
Yeah, this is one hole I think that anybody that goes to the old course certainly wants to play. Blind tee shot. You've got to flash it across the out of bounds and somehow find the fairway. If you go too safe down the left side, well, there's some heather to be chopping out of. Good tee shot certainly gives you a chance to hit at this beautiful green that's angled to the left, well protected by the road hole bunker. And if you're a little ambitious and a little strong, then there's a road itself and an out of bounds beyond this green.
Great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. And from the fairway for his second shot here. This shot, a full 200 yards. Birdie try up next. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. It's no snack though.
That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Settles in over the putt. About 7 under par now. And that's a bogey. Frank, is there a more famous landmark in the sport than the tiny Smoking Bridge?
I think when you think of this game, the way in which we've followed it and covered it, Rich, over the last decade plus, no. It is just symbolic, not just with this golf course, but the game of golf itself, because every great champion has managed to make his foray across to Scotland and play the old course and walk across that bridge. That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Get down! Lay down! Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
How did that not go in?
So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18. These putts keep the round together. Moves to -8. Well, too bad. He gives one back. Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, site of one of the PGA Tour's premier stops, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Always attracting a great field, and through the years it has been the scene of just some championship play from one guy in particular.
Tiger Woods has won there an incredible 8 times.
Picking him up live now at the 10th. Frank, it's been a workmanlike display to this point.
I think that's a great way to put it, Rich. And, you know, we see that so often when you and I are commenting on tour. This is the sort of player that could go a long way.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That's in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle.
It's at sneaky distance.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Another par 4 here, the 11th. It's just under 440 yards. This time, there's water looming left and then bunkers on the right-hand side. It's a pretty good challenge, Frank.
This hole's very similar to the third hole on the front side. 2 bunkers down the right side. Just got to keep it a little left. You don't have to hit driver here.
Frank, another good hole, the par 4 11th, looking at the second shot now.
Yeah, the second shot has a similar look to the second shot at the third hole at Bay Hill. Water all down the left-hand side. That has to be respected. And a green, really, where you've got to favour the right side, or at least right of middle.
This won't hurt him. Just a beautiful approach shot. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the Riley golf instructor makes his birdie. Frank, now we're at the 574-yard, par 5 12th. How critical are the par 5s if you're trying to put a score on the board here at Bay Hill?
They're crucial, Rich, because the par 4s are very, very difficult. So anytime you get a par 5, you've really got to take advantage of it.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, hit shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. At the par 4 13th now, Frank, what's the key here?
Really avoid those 3 bunkers, Rich. You don't want a fairway bunker shot over water for your second shot.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Can't ask for much more. Right in the fairway here at 13. Par 4 13th, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, at last, a birdie. Frank, one of the things I like about Bay Hill is it requires you to hit clean, strong golf shots. And here's another case at the par 3 14th. It's more than 200 yards.
Another one, really, you've just got to play it through the air. You can't play this like an Open Championship run-up par 3. Must fly it onto the green. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
And setting up here in the rough. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though.
Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was in.
So just a formality here. And he makes it for a bogey here. Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
That's a good par there, Rich.
If you're just joining us, let's take you out to our featured golfer at the 5th. Frank, this would be a good time to get it going. Made some pars to this point, but if you want to win, you have to make birdies.
Rich, I think the thought of winning has to be removed from one's psyche right now. You've just got to worry about what's in front of you. It just looks confused, forgetting about playing the actual game itself. Winning happens by a series of good shots. It's get back to the basics of playing golf.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Well, he's not going to be real happy with that. Wow. Locked in on the read and the speed. In for par. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
Frank, how do you size up the approach shot now at the 6th?
Ideally, you'd want to have a good yardage in here. Something where you can hit a nice, high, lofted short iron to make sure that you don't mess with those palm trees.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. This one measures out to 24 feet. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Good putt. Seventh hole here at Sawgrass, Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left and it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank, you've navigated so many leaderboards in your career. This is the way to do it, isn't it?
Oh, there's plenty of holes ahead too, Rich. Third place, a really good position to be playing from here on in.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over.
Extra stroke at it after going into the water. So this will be the third shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. So Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet. Should be safely on deck.
You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Bad news is, that's a bogey. The good news, still tied for the lead.
He's the only one disappointed. The rest of the field aren't. It made it a real cat fight.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best slide, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. That's a good par given the situation.
Still tight, still close. Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right, this is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out or you'll run out of fairway. From there, it's really about knowing where the flag is, what position on the screen, because this is another green that's not flat. If the second shot lands on the wrong portion of the green, it'll finish well away from the hole.
Sitting up in the fairway now, 180 yards away. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. That's a sensible approach shot right there. In good position on the green.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Struggling a bit with the flat stick. And a drop shot here at the 15th hole. Just a couple of feet. So back and forth we go. The bogey and suddenly in second place.
Yeah, hopefully that's the last one of the day.
And if you're a couple of shots behind on Sunday, that final round, you're thinking about 3, and that's possible, isn't it?
Well, history's shown it has, Rich. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my age.
It looks like Rory McIlroy from sticking the follow through. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. Oftentimes in golf, we'll say it's man against man, man against nature. Well, here's a good example. 1998 at the Players at the TPC Sawgrass, Steve Lowry was playing the 17th hole, the famous Island Green. Hit his tee shot right on the putting surface. And guess what happens? Here comes a seagull, swoops down, snatches up Lowry's ball, flies away, and drops it in the water. Too bad, Steve. Actually, he got to replace his ball on the green. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law. Even par, currently.
That is a solid par putt. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you've played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, and now a good chance to attack this hole. And now his final approach shot of the day, just wants to go out in style.
One more good swing.
Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Pretty good shot right there. Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Ouch. We really can't afford to give away shots at this point in the tournament, Frank. And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the TPC Sawgrass and EA Sports. Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, and we will be calling all the action for today's event.
Rich, I'm armed and ready. Are you?
I am. Battle gear on. Let's get it going. Frank, no leisurely stroll from the clubhouse to the first tee. Like most golf courses, here we go from an aircraft carrier on the first tee.
Yeah, it's a scary little sight trying to take off there on that opening tee shot. Green situated on a little island. 186 yards, though. That's what we've been radioed in, the yardage today.
Good chance at one. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This will require a good strike from 180 yards away. These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
And getting ready for the putt. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
So a tester from 4 feet. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Even par early on. Now to the second hole, Frank, and just a look here. This green is clearly very heavily guarded.
Yeah, you notice that guard shack on the right there? Well, you better keep your head down because we're not sure whether or not that guard shack is actually empty.
Could be a dangerous shot here at the second.
And left, trees, a little bit of sand. There's the bridge as well. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good chance here. That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good effort and good par putt. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there.
So this is an interesting tee shot as that destroyer continues to burn.
Amazing that play still continues. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Oh, look out, this one is deep.
You just wave goodbye to the green as it goes over.
So the shot has landed. I'm not sure if it's on the mulch or in the mulch. Either way, it's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have mulch of a shot. You're left.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Well, Frank, this is where a golf club may not be good enough. You might need a shovel here.
Oh, this is going to take some sort of digging. I don't know how much sand those shoes are going to hold, but we're going to find out.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Still playing even for the day after the par. Frank surveying this hole. It appears as though your normal laser or rangefinder won't be good enough.
Well, we could always radio in the yardage there, but the radio tower, personally, I prefer sonar.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, you and I have called golf from around the world. In fact, we had our broadcast position in the Grand Canyon in a hot air balloon. Tell you what, I'm glad we didn't pick that spot to broadcast from. That would have been lights out early.
It would have, but I don't even know if our observation tower that we're situated in is going to be safe. The destroyers come and hit the land. And, of course, the fifth hole, this par 3, at just over 200 yards. That should be rather interesting, but hopefully we'll be safe. Let's batten down the hatches while we watch the tee shot.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. Well, too bad. He gives one back. Clean this up with a tap. Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Up to the 6th tee, Frank, and we're back against that destroyer. You need to take it over that small island.
Yeah, this is a little village, too. And remember the double greens at St. Andrews? Well, this is a split double green. It's shared in amongst the village. The green on the right, very, very small. So this a very lengthy par 3. It's going to be a case of really ready aim driver for some.
This has not been a great round as we head toward the finishing stretch here. You can tell the winds have really affected the shots out on the course. Let's see if they can muster something coming to the finish line.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back? You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Frank, at a 72-hole stroke play event, do you like birdie fests where, say, 28, 30 under par might win it, or do you like a good old-fashioned grind them out where you might be able to win the championship at, say, 7, 8 under par?
Yeah, I like the latter, really, because I think it tests the mental fortitude. Normally, if people are, you know, in the mid-20s under, the golf course is a little easier, it's a little more forgiving, greens are flatter and all that, and therefore, I'm not saying it's one-dimensional, but it's closer to that. When you have a good old barn brawn out there with the rough thick and bunkers are difficult and greens are fast and undulating, every part of your game is stressed to the limit. And, you know, sort of 10 under, I always think, is like a really good litmus test for a great tournament.
Saves par, stays at 3 over. Now on to the 7th, and Frank, this is, to say the least, a dangerous hole.
You've got to hit it across that retaining wall, or that protective barrier to stop the sand and the enemy coming in. Really, the green sets up nicely for the tee shot, but be wary. There might just be a minefield out there.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a formality now.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Starting to climb back at +2. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Now to the 8th hole, Frank, you really just need to follow the trail down to the green here at Paracel Storm.
Barracks are probably the biggest problem in front of you. They're just short and left of this par 3 green. For the very observant, though, they'll notice a little one-on-one, perhaps a little basketball court just along the left side.
A little three-point shooting contest, you and I later on?
This is a par 3.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck. I tell you, those shoes at the end of the day, they're going to have so much sand in them.
Don't bring those home. Getting some sand in the shoes now. These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, this golf course is surrounded by water, just a few tiny islands strung together to create these 18 super cool looking par threes.
Yes, Rich, and with all that water comes a lot of lost balls. When this base was still active, many of the soldiers would play the course in the tee box. They'd just get backed up really quickly. It was so bad that they created a local rule for balls in the water. So if you hit your ball in the water, you do what they've always done. You just drop one up next to the green and you take a stroke penalty. Pretty good rule.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just a couple of feet. 3 over for the day. Rounding out this front 9 mission here, the 9th hole. Shot over the building.
I need to be careful. The front left of the screen is guarded by a tower, and anything right, you'll be ducking for cover in the trenches.
Been a real battle out here today. Just need to keep it all together. Just a bit left of the hole location.
Should still be okay.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short. Second shot.
This would be a huge momentum swing. This one's for birdie.
Good read, good line, well played.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Okay, that's par. 3 over for the round. Getting set for the back 9 here at Paracel Storm. We are in the South China Sea at a golf course unlike any other in the world. Rich Lerner for EA Sports alongside Frank Nobilo. What a day it's been so far, partner.
It certainly has, Rich. We can have a little liaison here with the short 10th. Not overly long, around the 150-yard mark. The flag position's always important here. When it's on the left, it's a long way away from the beach, probably the easier hole location. Put it on the right side, and that water comes very much into play.
Fraction off the center and headed to the right. Early part of this second 9 and a good approach shot, and now pretty good chance for birdie. Flag stick 150 yards away. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
It's at sneaky distance.
There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. The 11th hole here at Paracel Storm, now a military playground. Frank, certainly the players are thankful, having traded the guns for golf clubs. Good time out there so far.
A little bit of an obstacle course, though, here at 11. You can see the weather vanes that adorn the right side of this hole. Tee shot has to be played across that seawall. So once again, all carry. And let's see if he can land softly on the other side.
That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. And about 1 1/4 left to the hole. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Getting set now over the putt.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. No fireworks, but not bad. That's a par. Stays at 3 over. Just a tap in to finish the hole. -3 now for the round. Up to the 12th, making a trip across to an island green, Frank.
It looks more like a shipwreck island, and that's an evil place to put the green on that side. Very well defended by that rock wall as well as the water, and of course anything short, those big rocks that protect this green. This is probably the most heavily guarded par 3 on the golf course.
Make bogey or worse here, they might strand you out there. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder, hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder. I don't know how much sand those shoes are going to hold, but we're going to find out.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. He'll be pretty happy with that one, about 20 feet away in a good spot. Second shot coming out of the rough here. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up one. So after all that, it's a bogey. Two under on the day. Here we are now at the 13th, and Frank, this is a stout-looking hole.
Rich, it certainly is. No time to be superstitious on number 13. The trenches, they protect the back and the right of this green. Anything left of that, time to call in the Navy.
This is a good-looking shot. Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop. This will test his skill. You can play this shot a couple of different ways. Open the club face, but you've got to be careful. Most players just close that club face and chop down like an axe.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
Now on the green, has about 10 feet left there to save par. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey, drop shot here at the 13th. He'll need to be strong with this.
Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Frank, now at the 14th, and really a simple objective here.
It looks like an old sand dune where they've just put a green on top. Rather benign. Might just sneak up on you, though. It really just looks like green and beaches with a few palm trees behind, but beware.
Stuck the follow-through right there. This could be really good. You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, I thought he had that. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Beginning the long climb back, now to 3 over par. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. And with that, 1 under par. Now to the 15th hole. Danger in the center of the green here, Frank.
Yeah, chance to ambush the player, really. All those trees, you never know what's going to jump out of there. And, well, we've seen the 6th hole at Riviera with the bunker in the middle. We now have a crop of trees.
Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Shouldn't be a problem here. So, 2 over par for the round. So a tester from 4 feet. He's made a birdie, takes the score to 2 under par. And just take a look out at the battleships burning, the solar panels, the bridges, the barracks. You know you're not at your dad's country club anymore.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Wow, I thought he made that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Two under par for the round. Now to the 17th hole, and as we come to the end of this round, you salute the players because they're out there carrying not only their golf clubs, but the med kits and the meal packs, because this is no ordinary golf course. You have to be on alert, high guard all the time. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Good-looking shot right here. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Nice par to remain at 2 under. Now the finishing hole, Frank, and just a spectacular looking hole.
Yeah, chance to complete our mission. Should we succeed here at 18? If anything, you want to keep the ball a little left of the flag. Otherwise, we're off the beach.
This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
That will be a great look at birdie.
This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flagstick here, but looks as though it will find the green. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Back to par for the round. He has this for par. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, what a day of golf we saw out there today. The kind of performance that any of the great generals would have been proud of. Schwarzkopf, Patton, they would have loved the intensity, the fire, the fierce competitive drive that we saw in action today.
I realize you want to be promoted, Rich. I'll keep that in mind, but it's been an absolute blast here at Paracel Storm today. As long as that birdie-bogey ratio, well, it was in the plus, then you've done well. Should the bogeys outnumber the birdies? Well, then demotion is in the cards.